Christine, I've got something for you.
Very official packaging. Oh.
13 months ago, I was in Dublin, then Mexico, and pretty much to the week a year ago, I arrived in New York City. Didn't plan to stay here for a full year, but you know that saying, best laid plans and all that. Sadly, we came over here because Christine's mum had passed away and we wanted to spend some time with Christine's family. However, we got sick of putting our life on hold and we decided to get married, and in the process we decided to apply for a green card. So I think this is one of the first videos I'm actually going to try rope Christine into it as well. So I'm going to head back to the apartment and get her to answer some of the questions as well. Christine, can you come here? Take a seat here. Christine.
Start again. I'm making weird faces.
We were married since May, but actually we came over here in January. And one of the big things as well in terms of noting for your green card application is that you shouldn't get married within the first 90 days of arriving into the country because it causes problems.
Well, it doesn't cause problems if you have the fiancé visa, which we didn't.
Oh yeah, so we didn't have the fiancé visa, even though we were engaged, but we hadn't made any plans to actually get married when we traveled over.
And I think Trump made a rule that if you get married within the first 90 days, it looks suspicious.
And also, we're not lawyers, neither of us are lawyers, so this is not legal advice, this is just the experience we went through. In terms of applying for our green card, we thought the best solution was talk to a lawyer. We ended up having to fill out a number of forms. Those forms were to do with all sorts of things. One, the green card application. What was number two? Our work permit, or my work permit, travel permit, as well as social welfare. And
those are not the names of the forms.
I know they're not the names of the forms. So there was a form to do with me staying over 90 days that I had to ask for forgiveness. So that actually formed part of our application as well. And to add on the forms?
Like for us just to fill out the forms and get them filed by the lawyer, it took actually 4 weeks. So plan accordingly.
And we put them in around June 2021. I think the next response we got was for me to come in and do my biometrics, my fingerprints and my face and height and all that kind of stuff. They just take photographs and fingerprints and you're in and out of there within about a half an hour. What happened next?
Then we waited.
Then we waited. So yeah, there was a lot of waiting. We were assuming that once we got the biometrics done that my travel permit and my work permit would come in within the next kind of, 2 to 3 months. And we were hoping to have that by September. So ultimately the work permit came in December, which
6 months.
6 months. We applied in June and we got the work and travel permits in December. And very quickly after that, we got notice of our interview as well, which was going to happen about 4 or 5 weeks later. We got the notice for interview, and as part of the notice for interview, I had to organize a medical history or medical search for myself. The medical examination included me going in, filling out 100 odd forms, and getting my blood drawn and filling out exactly what details I'd got in terms of vaccination. From getting vaccination certs from when I was a baby and a child turned out to be quite difficult. Fair enough, I got them in the end, but I didn't get them in time for my interview. So what actually happened was I had to go and get my childhood mRNA boosters or whatever the hell they were. I had to get them again just before green card interview to make sure I was up to date with all my vaccinations.
Yeah, you're still normal so far.
Now the important part was coming. Our interview was coming up, and luckily enough we had spoken to our lawyers about what was going to happen at the interview, and this is kind of what we want to share with you most importantly, because over the few months leading up to the interview we were told that we have to kind of start portraying our lives, that we're living together and we are cohabiting, and we have to provide evidence of that, which was kind of easy enough for us. Christine changed her name, we had all those details, but we also had to provide details in regards to bills, utility bills, phone bills, mobile bills, bank accounts, shared bank accounts. So you had to have a number of statements going back. So what we actually did was we put together, before the interview, we put together a whole host of information to prove that we were living together and to prove that we were actually a couple, and a married couple at that as well. So we did put all that information together as part of the overall process. We had to bring in our passports, so we had to make sure our passports were there. We also had to make sure we got our birth certificates as well from both of us. I had to make sure I had an Irish one. We had to make sure we had our marriage certificates and copies of all of these as well. And all of that needed to be included as part of our interview. One of the other things that they look for is photographs, and I think I went over the top on photographs. I brought in a lot of photographs, and it was photographs of me with Christine over the years, as well as with family and friends. Lots of different things, stuff about our wedding, stuff about my parents, stuff about Christine's sister. When you don't print photographs out anymore and it's all on your phone, you forget that you're gonna have to go and do this. So you can't bring in your phone. It has to be physical photographs, because what they do is they take a handful of photographs and they put them on the file. In terms of the interview that we had, it went swimmingly well. We met a really nice man and gave us the green light very quickly. Have you anything to add?
No.
No. So.
Oh, I would like to add that the green card wasn't the reason we got married.
The green card did came in a nice letter, blah, blah, blah. Green card is here. We got that. I got a few other IDs as well. And then you have your welcome to America. So what bothered you about the green card process?
Yeah, in terms of the length of the forms is very long.
If you put in wrong information or you make a mistake in the form, another thing that can void your application and force you to start all over again is if you miss one of your appointments. So if you miss the appointment with your biometrics or you miss your green card interview without letting them know, it basically null and voids your whole application and you have to start all over again.
Best of luck to anyone who's going through the process.
So regular viewers can leave some comments below and let me know if you want to see Christine in more videos. Let me know in the comments below.